I'm gonna do a quick review of this, I think it's a 2020 or 2019 Kandi go-kart for my son. I've been seeing it in the neighborhood for a couple of years now. It's been sitting out somebody's front yard for sale, and I picked it up for 250 bucks. My son had a four-wheeler, but he just seemed to like this thing, so we went by and looked at it and put an offer in for 250 bucks, and the guy took it. So I'm gonna go over it and tell you what I think about it, the good and the bad, and stay tuned. So to start off first, this tire over here was completely off the rim, and that rim was bent real bad. And this one was off the rim. I got this one back on the rim here at the house, but this one I had to take in to get it remounted, and they had to bend the rim back. But one thing I didn't like about this was the key switch. It has like a little metal collar that tightens it down right here. And that broke immediately when I tried tightening this down because it just kept spinning. So I just put this key switch over here and taped it down so that the kids couldn't mess with it too much. But it does have seat belts, which I like. They work okay. I wish it had a bigger gas tank. It's a little 1 gallon gas tank. It didn't run whenever I first got it, but I took off the original carburetor and cleaned it, and it works great, actually. So I'm really glad that I didn't have to buy a new carburetor. And then this spark plug wire was actually really short, so it was like laying across the engine here and going to the electrical box over here. And it was really brittle, and I think that was why it was cutting out, because it was getting too hot and causing some impedance in there. So I bought another one and I spliced it, which you can do, I found out. It's the first time I've ever done that, but I spliced it up here to get it away from the engine's heat, and then comes back down into the electrical box, which seems to be working really good because it doesn't cut out anymore. But then I oiled up the chain. Overall, it runs pretty good. I put a new battery in it too. It needed a new battery. So altogether, we're like $350 into this go-kart, which I think is a pretty good deal. This thing's a little sloppy. This little shifter, it goes forward for first gear. It's only got 1 gear in forward and neutral and then reverse. It's a little loose. I gotta tighten it up still. But the lights don't really work. The tail light works and the headlights work, but these little lights out here don't work. I'm not really worried about it, but overall it's a decent quality build. I wouldn't call it a Honda or anything, but it's not bad. This cage, all these little bolts come loose, and you have to tighten those down, make sure they're good, because this thing does shake pretty good. That little 150 engine on the back shakes pretty good. But it's got full suspension, which I like. You can really feel that vibration of the engine in that back seat if you're a bigger rider. The kids don't complain about it, but my wife does. But it's too small for me. I think I'd be better off if I took this cage off, which you can, which I like that option. So like if my son does get too tall for it, he's 12 now, I could take that cage off and he can still use it. So that's kind of a nice feature, which I'll probably end up doing. But overall, I mean, yes, I'd say a 7 out of 10, which is not bad for a go-kart. Usually they're not that good quality build, but if this engine ever goes out, I'll just put like a 220 Predator motor on it. But I'll probably have to cut this cage away. That's the only bad thing I don't like about this, is that cage around the engine is, you can't remove it, you gotta cut it off. So I'd probably have to cut it off and weld some sort of plate on there so that I can mount a new engine on. So I'm hoping that engine doesn't go bad, but if it does, I've got a plan for this thing. But if you guys want to know anything else about it, just let me know. The brakes are a little stiff. Don't really like that, but I might have to adjust those. But it does have a master cylinder for the brake and all braided stainless steel lines, which is pretty decent quality, really. Electronics are pretty exposed. I'm probably gonna clean that up. But yeah, other than that, the seats are okay, comfortable, not too bad. But I wish it was just a little bit longer, just right in this area. But other than that, okay quality. He said he bought it for $1,000 like 3 years ago, and it's just been sitting in his garage. And he wanted $500 for it, but we picked it up for $250, and I put about $150 into it. And we put a new battery on and fixing that spark plug cable, and what else did I do? Oh, and the tire over there, I had to get it remounted. It was only $10, but yeah, I'm gonna ride it until it breaks. If you guys want to know anything else about it, let me know in the comments. Thanks. I did forget to say in the last video, the last clip, no matter who's in it, me or my son, we both can get it up to 34 miles an hour, and that's where it governs out at. I might take the governor off of it if I can figure out how to do that fairly painlessly, but for the most part, yeah, it goes 34 miles an hour no matter who's in it, you know. So I thought that was pretty good for a go-kart, 34 miles an hour, you know. And he can't even get up to full speed in the backyard. He's got to get on the road over in front of the house. So anyway, that's it. Thanks. Go take this thing for a test drive because it didn't come out right. I'm gonna show you how hard it is for a 6 foot, 220 pound dude to get into this thing. So don't laugh too hard. Oh, man. Like I said, my head comes out outside these bars. So if you want to do this with your buddies, just so you guys can race some go-karts, I would definitely take this off. And maybe just try to keep a halo or just cut this off if you're not gonna give it to any kids. But anyway, kind of difficult to get in, but let me turn this back around. See, got that brake right there. It's pretty good brake pedals. But like I said, it's real stiff. It's got a neutral select. Works a little better once she's warmed up. We'll see if she got what she takes.